is always pleased to be joined by Patrick OKeefe, founder and CEO of OKeefe. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Happy to be here.
For those viewers who may not be familiar with OKeefe, can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, we are a strategic and financial advisory firm that helps predominantly middle market business owners who typically don't have the breadth or depth of management or expertise to execute on what's typically a non-recurring transaction in their life cycle. So it could be anything from a merger, an acquisition, a debt restructuring, a shareholder dispute, operational improvement. We're there to really help business owners enhance their equity.
Recently, you've had great success with a couple of ag deals. You want to talk about those?
We have. We've got a unique expertise in the agriculture area. Early in 2014, we sold one of the largest corn and soybean operations in the United States, which was an interesting assignment. But earlier this year, we completed the turnaround and sale of Heron Brothers, which was the second largest apple processor in Michigan. Long-time family ownership made a bad bet at the height of the drought in 2012, 2013, and didn't have any apples to process. And they built a brand new plant, which really caused some hemorrhaging. And we went in and turned it around for the business owners. And the bank that got us involved in that deal was looking at probably about a 70% haircut. And we basically, in about a 6-month period of time, got them out whole. And built some new relationships along the way with the entity that ended up buying it, who had an ag strategy, which included apple processing.
You also had a very good outcome with a golf deal.
We did. It was, I'm an avid golfer, and we have an iconic golf resort up in northern Michigan called Treetops Golf Course. It had been the home of the par 3 shootout, which originally started with Jack Nicklaus, Arnold Palmer, and Lee Trevino. And over the years, they would introduce new professionals into it. And Rick Smith was one of the foremost golf instructors. And they had some financial difficulty and had lost money for a number of years. And we were really able to stabilize the operation. It was a good operator there that was really making some good headway. But they had some unforeseen headwinds. There was a movement in the golf course industry to start making tee boxes accessible for people with disabilities. And if you think about the beauty of northern Michigan golf courses, they have a lot of elevated tees. And it hasn't been such a robust industry, and the fixes for these were not insignificant. And so, through the bankruptcy process, they were able to negotiate the settlement and get the resort back on good footing. And, it operates, I think, 5 golf courses, 4 18 holes, and one iconic par 3 golf course, and, a great resort, and it's back functioning and doing quite well.
And do you have unlimited golf there now?
We have a lot of friends up there that were really happy with what we did, and there's no shortages of opportunities to play at Treetops.
Okay, so let's shift gears a little bit and talk globally. Of course, the big buzz is the whole energy sector right now, and you've got kind of an interesting take on Russian involvement.
Well, it's interesting. I mean, nobody really fights a big war anymore. You don't see missiles flying in the air, people threatening atomic bombs. It's basically fought through economic sanctions. And it's not lost on me that Russia has been doing some bad things, and their economy is solely dependent on barrels of oil, as well as some of their unfriendly allies to U.S. interests. And so it's interesting to me that the Saudis, who have had the lion's share of the market, are not trying to decrease their supply to keep prices up. They're fighting for market share. And I believe that they are working with the United States to really put pressure on the Russian economy to get the necessary reforms and to get them back down militarily in other aspects in the region. And I think the Saudis are willing participants in that because the natural gas exploration with fracking has been very robust in the United States. So they have a dual purpose, I think, in light of the fact that they are strong allies of the U.S., if for no other reason they hold a lot of our dollars. And 2, I think long term, it helps their business interests to have the U.S. continue to be dependent on their oil and less independent going forward with their own supply. So it's fascinating to me. And of course, what do you do when you're in trouble and you're failing? Sometimes you make an acquisition. And so it's, you see Russia going into Ukraine and some other areas to really try to bolster, I think, their economy and, make them stronger in ways. So wars are fought on an economic front right now, and it's fascinating. In fact, I'm real negative in 16, I think, in part because of potential political and social unrest. And so I did some homework on this. It's kind of fascinating. Of the 30 documented terrorist attacks, the market generally falls for a week or two, but overall it becomes more robust. It's like people rally behind, especially with the S&P 500. Americans are very patriotic. It seems like people are a little aghast because of the uncertainty, and uncertainty usually drives things down. But once people galvanize for whatever, the markets have done relatively well. And it's just an interesting dynamic. But I suspect if there were to be some adverse event, that it would have some catastrophic impact. And I'll give you another great example. If you look, we have a couple companies doing business in China right now. It is so hard. It's easy to get your money into China. It's hard to get it out. And so you've seen a wealth transfer of U.S. companies trying to participate in the emerging and growing China market. But when you get unrest in certain places and that, your ability to pull your money out is going to be more difficult. And what people really take for granted in the U.S. is, we have a fairly stable judicial, legislative, government process that is not found in these foreign countries. And China, a couple months ago, for the first time ever, had a Western company win a patent infringement case. They never respected, intellectual property rights. And finally, there was one case where somebody actually won in the Chinese courts. But we move a lot of our intellectual property into markets where we can't protect it, and I think that makes us weak. And so, with China pulling back a little bit, it'll be interesting to see whether that makes the U.S. stronger, because less capital will be going over there for expansion.
You have given us a lot to think about, as always, Patrick. Great talking to you.
Great talking to you too. Thanks.